The greenhouses in northern Japan are home to one of the world's most special inhabitants, who are waiting for a long journey to an as yet unknown destination. And for some, that journey is about to begin. This is the Japanese koi fish, a living work of art chosen by its owners for its beautiful colors, size and patterns. But why? What makes this colored carp so valuable? In this video I take you to a remote area in northern and south Japan where the fish comes from. We dive into a world where competition, money and culture play a major role in the hunt for the best and most beautiful Japanese koi fish. Last year, I traveled to Japan to find out how this special fish is bred and why it's so popular with collectors. I delved into the life of an Englishman who left everything behind to raise and sell the Japanese koi fish in Japan. This year I return, more than 2 years after quitting my job, to earn a living in the world of the Japanese koi. For the first time, I am taking a customer with me who wants to select one of his dream fish during one of the most exciting periods in Japan, and who completely trusts me in purchasing the fish. My name is Ivo, and I'm 34 years old. Ever since I was a little child, I've been interested in fish. I've been coming to Japan since 2014, and now that I've given up everything for the Japanese koi, I record my life and adventures in these documentaries. During this journey, I hope that one of my dreams will come true. A dream that will make my future a lot more secure in the tough world of the Japanese koi fish. Exactly 2.5 years ago, I quit my job as a police officer to pursue my dreams. What seemed like a difficult decision at the time has turned out to be one of the best choices of my life. The past few years have flown by, and I've been able to build my career in one of the toughest and most competitive industries in the world. Behind closed doors, I've done research into breeding and raising this special fish, and met other people who have been able to turn their dreams into a career. One of those people is Carl. A few years ago, I came into contact with Carl, who I knew from fishing videos he made together with his brother Alex for YouTube. Carl is one of the best carp anglers and filmmakers in the UK, and with over 500,000 followers, incredibly popular. About 2 years ago, he built his own koi pond, and from that moment on, his journey in one of the most beautiful hobbies in the world began. My own journey started 2.5 years ago. One of the dreams I pursue is to sell this mysterious, valuable and world-admired fish. When Carl asked if he could come with me to Japan to search for his dream koi, I knew I'd find my first customer. But whether that will be as easy as I thought it would be, soon turned out to be quite a challenge. The start of this trip is Tokyo. With almost 38 million people living in Tokyo region, it is one of the most densely populated areas on Earth. That is almost 40 times the size of Amsterdam. Despite the size of the city, Tokyo is one of the safest places on Earth. I need structure and peace from time to time. The parks and quiet places in the city are unique and give you the feeling that you're somewhere in nature. The Japanese have apparently found a way to live with so many people on a small piece of land. Yet there's a great danger lurking in this city every day. Japan, and more specifically Tokyo, are located at the crossroads where the tectonic plates of the Pacific Ocean and the Philippine Sea are being pushed under Eurasia. Yet the Japanese live with this daily threat because they know that the Japanese infrastructure is built on this danger. I arrived in Tokyo a day before Carl arrives to make sure that everything is well organized. We will start this trip in the capital of Japan and then travel to the south of Japan and Niigata, where the origin of the Japanese koi lies. This weekend is the event of the year, the World Koi Championships, or simply put, who has the most beautiful and best koi in the world. The best fish are sent from all corners of Japan to participate in this competition. For many in the industry, breeders but also collectors, this is one of the most important moments of the year. When I planned this trip with Carl, he indicated that he wanted to do two things. First, visit the All Japan Koi Show in Tokyo and select new fish for his own pond. After I made some preparations, it was time to receive Carl at the hotel in Tokyo. It is my first day together with Carl, and also my first day that I take a client to Japan. Before the trip, I asked Carl what he would like to do and see. I arranged that we can go inside exclusively before the competition opens this weekend, so we can already have a look at the fish.
Yeah, so you bought your first monorail ticket.
No, okay, that one. I'm so confused.
It is one of Carl's dreams to visit this competition, the All Japan Koi Show. I am slightly nervous because I want to do everything I can to make this trip a success. Fortunately, I see that Carl has quickly forgotten his jet lag.
Are you excited, Carl?
Oh yeah, the biggest koi show in the world. Are we in the right place?
Yeah, we are.
It is here, right?
I registered Carl and myself with the organization of the show. I have a surprise for Carl today, but he has to wait for that. Koi dealers, enthusiasts and tourists have traveled to Tokyo in large numbers to admire the best fish in the world. It makes me happy to see that so many people have found a passion for keeping Japanese koi. There are so many people that I lose sight of Carl after entering.
It's so cool to see Carl being amazed by all the fish. And I lost him, to be honest. I don't know where he is. He dropped his bag and he's gone, but I mean, that's cool. I need to be honest with you, it's very busy. I've never seen it this busy at the All Japan Koi Show. So from a promotional side, I think that's pretty good.
But it doesn't take long before I find Carl, and from the look on his face, he is enjoying himself. There are thousands of koi on display, each one more beautiful and special than the other.
Look at it. It looks like a ball of flaming lava. I love it. Wait, it is. That's seriously big. Like, come on. But you see how the body is so, it's not so in. It's not. It's got the same width, but it's not so impressive in the form. Like, I'd want to catch that one, but I'd want the one over there in my pond.
It soon becomes clear that the best fish of the show has been won by the Russian Mr. Alexander. His dream, and that one of the breeder, the Sakai Fish Farm, have come true. What Carl doesn't know yet is that we will visit the Sakai Fish Farm during this trip, the place where the best and most expensive koi in the world are made. It is very busy, and we decide to go looking for koi in Tokyo.
So this is the first part of always figuring out how to get to my next destination. Well, in this case, our destination. It's difficult, but man.
This way. It's this way.
What Carl doesn't know yet is that I have arranged that we are the only ones at the show tonight, which means that we can take a look at all the fish quietly and alone. Something that is only allowed in very exceptional cases. We have arrived at an ancient Buddhist temple in Asakusa. It is Tokyo's oldest established temple and one of its most significant. I know there is also a large koi pond here that I would like to show to Carl.
It's actually nice to do some sightseeing. Normally I don't do it myself, so I'm happy Carl is joining me and doing some nice things.
It is incredibly busy, even though it's off-season. I'm holding on to the idea that we are completely alone and in peace at the koi show tonight.
I got too much of the good vibes. I'm a bit scared. I don't know what's going on out there.
Imagine all the money that is put in here. How many koi could you buy from that? We might found one or two koi ponds.
I am blessed.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, if you could have this in England. I honestly think the crime rate in England would drop if they made more beautiful gardens like this for people to relax in. You know?
What if they steal these expensive koi?
That would happen if you put them in England. You put this in London, those fish aren't lasting 10 minutes.
The parks in Tokyo are a breath of fresh air. You almost forget that you are in a city with millions of people. It is time to move on. After a visit to a Pokemon shop, it is time to go back to the koi show. I am a bit worried. I hope Carl doesn't want the same quality of koi when we are going to pick out his new fish for his pond. I will have to temper his expectations somewhere to avoid disappointment. It is quiet at the koi show, and we are the only ones who are allowed to be there. I see that Carl takes his time to study all the fish. Despite his jet lag, he is impressed by the show.
Despite my jet lag and severe tiredness, today was just brilliant. I wasn't really ready for the show to be quite as big as it was, like just the number of fish. I thought maybe there would be 20 bowls, instead there's literally like 1,000 fish here. And the best thing about today is I've got to see a few new varieties, and maybe I've fallen in love with some new types of fish that we might look for elsewhere on this trip.
It is time to go. We quickly eat something at the hotel. Tomorrow we leave for the south of Japan to visit world's largest koi farm.
The ground is definitely shaking.
While Carl is waiting in the lobby, the ground starts to shake. I was still in my room preparing for our day when an earthquake hit Tokyo.
Did you feel the earthquake?
Yeah, what was that all about?
Yeah, it's
is
crazy,
that just because I looked around and some people were like, and then other people were like,
Yeah.
just every
It was
day.
a small one.
Luckily it was a small earthquake, or at least that's how it felt. But not long after, everyone goes back to what they were doing.
What was the earthquake? So they get a lot bigger, obviously, but
Yes. So 4.8 was the magnitude.
wow.
We experienced the earthquake.
Yeah, we can tick that off the list.
I just made a joke to someone else. We might put on Facebook we're safe.
Marked safe from the 4.8.
We have a full program today. We travel to Hiroshima, the Sakai Fish Farm. We still have some time left before our plane leaves and decide to watch the award ceremony of the show.
So how do you feel? Your first All Japan Koi show.
I got mixed feelings about attending this show because I have been so impressed by the fish, and I've started to see the difference between the really valuable ones and the quite valuable ones. And when you start to see those subtle differences, then your spending habits might start to go up. I'm worried now. When we go out and look for fish, I'm going to be inevitably probably choosing ones that are way out of my budget. But yeah, it's been a good event. I've loved it, every minute of it.
Carl tells me what I was afraid of. I will have to find a way to temper his expectation and prepare him for the trip to Niigata in a few days. However, I do have an idea for this.
Today should be a good day. I'm visiting for the first time Sakai Fish Farm. Now, Ivo has told me a lot about this farm and how prestigious it is, how special it is. It's the biggest, it's renowned as the best koi farm in the world, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna fly there, hopefully see some amazing fish, and I'm looking forward to it.
We fly from Haneda Airport to Hiroshima. A short flight of 1 hour. I love planes, and it seems like the Japanese have found a way to make flying even more fun. But not only on the ground, also from the air, where I have a beautiful view of Mount Fuji. At these moments I realize how beautiful Japan is. we're traveling not alone. Taka and Chris from Oase join our trip. After a short flight and a good lunch, it's about a 30-minute drive to the Sakai Fish Farm. This is Kotaro Sakai, the son of Kentaro Sakai, who currently owns the Sakai Fish Farm. We are lucky, because almost all the breeders are still at the koi show in Tokyo. Last summer I visited the Sakai Fish Farm to find out how Japanese koi are bred and selected, and I got an exclusive look behind the scenes. While Kotaro gives us a tour of the champion pond, the pond where all the winners swim, Carl has figured out what surprise he will get here.
They're going straight in with last year's grand champion. They're going to show us it up close. That's what he said.
It is unique and very rare that a breeder catches a former and mostly future champion and shows it up close. We are lucky, and Carl is not the only one who's very happy. I am as well. This is not an unknown fish to me. She is the 2023 world champion and belongs to the Sanka variety, a white koi with black and red markings. The fish is bred from the Miss Japan 2 bloodline and is called Shogetsu. What is so special about this fish is that it was already 1 meter in size in 2023. At the moment, the fish has grown and is already 105 centimeters. That's just bizarre. The breeder adds some sedative to the water so the fish doesn't experience any stress. This gives us the opportunity to take a good look at this beautiful wonder. I have a moment of realization that in front of me is a fish that probably costs more than $1 million. But I'm not surprised. Certainly not after my research last year in Japan, why the fish can sometimes be so expensive.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a problem with this farm. All of the fish that I see, I can't afford. But I like them, and I want them.
I realized that this is either going to be a very difficult or easy search for his new fish. I decide to take Carl to some fish that fit his budget. Or so I think. However, these fish, no matter how small they are almost unaffordable. But I do have high hopes. Tomorrow our search will start in the northern part of Japan. I am surprised that the fish do not jump out of these small tanks. The fish patiently wait for their moment to be photographed. These fish will be sold via the online auction of the Sakai Fish Farm.
Now I just want the best fish in my pond. The very best. It's an incredible operation here. I think this is a very slick business that is run very efficiently and properly, you know? Whereas maybe some of the breeders I've seen in the past have been a bit more a man does it as his hobby in his garden. This is not a hobby. Like, this is an empire.
It is time to leave this magical place. We have a tight travel schedule and have to get back to the airport. As we're about to leave, I realize that our flight is earlier than expected. If we miss this flight, we will not have enough time to choose his new fish.
Literally, so
so much.
How many minutes?
Double check the temperature. Carl!
He runs as fast as he drives.
Welcome to Japan.
And now we're really early.
Sorry, I'm not allowed to film, but we made it, so that's pretty good though. So maybe there's time to get some food. Then we go to Tokyo to pick up our suitcases. And then we go to Niigata, and that's different because there might be some snow there, so I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna find that fish for Carl, so yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It was a busy day and we still have a lot of traveling to do. The real work is about to start. I hope to find Carl his new fish that suits his preferences.
Yum 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 yum. Arigatou gozaimasu.
So we got on simply just for the train.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Alright,
3
okay.
minutes.
Let's go.
We travel via Tokyo Station and take the bullet train, also called Shinkansen. Luckily we still have some time to buy food for our almost 2-hour train journey. I am tired, but also satisfied. Tomorrow we will go into the mountains in search of koi. It is our first day in Nagaoka, a city that lies at the foot of the Yamakoshi Mountains. The search for Carl's new fish is now really starting.
Hey, have you got the car? Let's go!
We are 800 kilometers north of Hiroshima, and that is noticeable. It is cold and there has been some snow. Carl and I drive via Ojiya, a place that is known for the birthplace of the Japanese koi, to the first breeder in the Yamakoshi Mountains. This mountain range offers a lot of space for growing and selling the Japanese koi. During the spring, summer and autumn the fish stay outside, and when there's snow, during the winter period the fish go inside into the indoor ponds. Earlier this week, Carl indicated that he is looking for a single-colored koi, one that fits in well with his other fish. I have come up with a plan where I take Carl to as many breeders as possible on the first day to get some inspiration. There are so many different types of single-colored koi that I hope to find out what his preferences are. This has to be a successful trip. It is not an option to send Carl back to the UK without any fish. The first breeder is Otsuka, a small breeder who breeds many special varieties such as the Akamatsuba, a red-orange fish with a beautiful net pattern, especially popular with lovers of single-colored koi. Carl immediately starts investigating and sees if there is anything swimming among them that fits with his wishes. The breeder is not present, but we can take a look around.
This place has got some really nice Akamatsuba, the orangey red ones with the pine cone. We'll keep this in mind, we'll remember this place.
After a few quick visits to other koi farms, we decide to look higher. Literally. While the residents of this village are cleaning the fresh snow from the roofs, I decide to take Carl to a breeder he has been to before. A breeder known for its clean farm, but also for the best view. We drive to the Maro Koi Farm.
Mate, it's so...
I have not visited the Maro Koi Farm much in the past few years. Many of the koi are often sold out quickly after harvest. The fish of the two brothers who run the koi farm together are very popular, especially in Europe. The view is absolutely breathtaking in the winter.
Where has it gone? Do you recognize this? I can't tell where that is.
After Carl landed his drone safely, it is time to go inside and look for some fish.
I really wanted to come to this farm because I actually have a fish from Yagenji back at home in my pond. It's a 81 centimeter karashigoi. Beautiful, beautiful fish. And it came from this farm, and I remember visiting here 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and it's nice to be back.
We take our time and tank by tank, we look for beautiful single-colored koi. But it remains difficult, despite the countless beautiful specimens in here. Unfortunately, the best fish have already been sold, which means that we have to go to other breeders. We visit several farms in the morning, and there are still plenty of fish for sale, despite it being winter and many breeders are being sold out.
Looks nice.
Together with Carl, I discussed my opinion on some beautiful Hyutsuri koi. This is the variety that Carl saw at the koi show in Tokyo. I noticed that Carl is learning fast and is starting to recognize quality koi based on the build, size, and skin quality. The morning is coming to an end. I don't want to disappoint Carl, and I hope we find something that suits him soon. However, I have a plan for the afternoon that might speed things up.
Sakai Koi Farm had... What did they have here? Oh, they had those, like, bigger scaled ones. Like a mirror carp, like a fully scaled mirror carp. They were cool. I've got to remember all of the different breeders and the different fish we saw. Maro, Yagenji, Kaze, Otsuka. So many. Just so many different farms, and all of the farms we've been to have had the thing that they do, like the special thing that they do. Like they have a fish that other people don't have, or they have bigger fish of a certain variety. So just trying to remember.
I am not worried yet. Maybe I should adjust Carl's expectations about the offer. I had not thought of this scenario beforehand, even though it's not the sale season. But there's some hope. We are hungry and decide to go to a restaurant run by a woman from the Philippines. This is one of my favorite lunch spots next to the Shinano River. I could already guess what our conversations would be about. When Carl sees flowing water, he only wants to do one thing: grab his fishing rods. But we will save that for another time. There's work to be done. I decide to go to a place Carl has been before. A breeder that is known for a huge supply of koi throughout the year. But this breeder is not only known for the number of fish, also for the most famous run pond in the world. We are at the Maro Koi Farm, a breeder that I like to visit. Not only for the beautiful fish, but also for the culture that you experience here from the moment you walk in.
That's the pond that Charlie came from. That was where I found Charlie.
When Carl built his Oase filtered koi pond back in the UK, he bought his first koi from this breeder and named it Charlie. We look around, and to my surprise, there's a gigantic amount of fish to choose from.
This is the one and only Maro round pond. There's one fish in here of every variety to die for. Like just anything that you want, you can find it here. I'm so impressed. So impressed. I think we should probably look down that way though, because these might be quite expensive.
I decide to give Carl all the time he needs to look around. But it doesn't take long before he asks my attention for something that he has seen.
What did you see?
I think it's a benigoi, but it's shiny, so Ginrin benigoi. Very nice.
I call for help from the breeder, who like a professional knows how to catch the right fish with the net. Somehow the breeders manage to make something difficult, such as lifting the fish, look so easy. Soon 2 beautiful skin orange benigoi swim in the bowl. At first glance, these fish seem the same, but nothing could be further from the truth. There are a number of differences, and Carl knows exactly where he's looking at.
I like the body shape on the Ginrin benigoi most, but the scales on the doits, quite cool. I didn't think that I would like the ones with the shiny scales. I thought, but now I see them up close. Those glistening little scales are very nice. I also think the body shape is nicer on that one. It's a bit more balanced. Maybe it swims a little bit more elegantly as well. It's got the other one's a little bit. The other one's like my brother. It's a little bit.
Carl takes the time to study both fish calmly. Both koi have small imperfections, but a perfect fish also comes with a different price tag.
70?
It would be beautiful in my pond. Next to Charlie, like those colours. Very, very nice.
After the breeder has measured the koi, I have to ask the breeder the price. This is done in Japanese style, with a calculator on my phone. It is up to me to convert it, including shipping, handling and tax cost in the total price. Now that we have a framework, we can go to other breeders and see what beautiful fish they have swimming. Tomorrow is our last day. I hope Carl will find his dream fish tomorrow.
As soon as we walked into Marahiro, my heart started going like heavy. I think I had a feeling. I had a good feeling.
It is getting dark and I want to visit one other breeder. The Shinoda Koi Farm specializes in Hiutsuri, a black and orange koi. Some people compare this variety to a tiger pattern, and I can understand that. It will not be easier for Carl to make a decision tomorrow.
Hiutsuri, my girlfriend's favorite, or Ginrin Benigoi from Marahiro. I'll sleep on it.
But we might get an additional challenge tomorrow. A lot of snow is expected, and that can be a challenge to reach certain breeders. However, I have winter tires, but whether that is a guarantee for a safe ride is never certain in the mountains. It is the next morning, and the weather is starting to change. Today is the day that Carl has to make his choice. If he doesn't make a decision, it will feel like a failure to me. I take Carl to another farm before we go back to the Maro Koi Farm. We are at the Maro Koi Farm. Here you can buy almost every single variety. The farm is so big and has so many fish in the ponds that you sometimes wonder how these fish can stay healthy. However, my experience shows that these fish are extremely strong. Carl's eye falls on a Hiutsuri. Here I have the freedom to take the fish out of the water myself.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's got me thinking. This has really got me thinking. Oh, it is really nice.
It is a beautiful koi with a good build, nice pectoral fins and a nice clear pattern without too many black spots in the orange. I wonder if this will make Carl's choice easier or more difficult.
It was really good to see that fish in the bowl, but it makes things even a little bit harder because I love the Hiutsuri, and that Hiutsuri that I saw at the show just blew my mind. I think I fell in love with the variety. So it's like one color fish or two color fish. Tricky decision. We're back at Marahiro. I'm actually excited to see the fish again. I've thought about it a lot. I think I want it. We just need to do a couple of last checks and hope he hasn't sold it to somebody else.
It doesn't take long before Carl has spotted his fish. I see some relief enjoying Carl. But I also feel relieved that the fish hasn't been sold in the meantime. Despite the many dealers who are selecting fish, I asked the breeder if we can look at the koi again before we make a final choice.
Are we getting it out? Now? Okay. Hey.
It doesn't take long, and after a few minutes, Carl has made his decision.
Congratulations.
We did it. We found the fish. I finally made a decision, and I got myself quite a big fish actually. I think after it's back in my pond, and I've been giving it some food and it fills out a little bit and gets a bit deeper, it'll be a very, very impressive creature.
Carl is excited and can go tell the breeder himself that he wants to buy this beautiful fish. The koi will be shipped and then go into quarantine before the fish can go into Carl's pond.
You got me the fish that I wanted. You took me to the right farms. We saw thousands of koi, and I ended up with the one that I wanted. So, you did well.
As we walk outside, it starts to snow heavily. This week has been special, and I'm very happy that I've been able to take a new step in my career. The foundation of a beautiful friendship is laid here in Japan. Friendship through skills, as the breeders say. My adventures in Japan with Carl do not stop here. In fact, Carl comes back and travels with me during the fall. If you want to watch his video, there's a link in the description. While the snow covers the mountains of Niigata, Carl and I travel to the well-known snow monkeys and visit a number of tourist spots. Subscribe if you want to see the next or one of my previous films. I would really appreciate it if you leave a comment and like this video so we can show it to more people. Thanks for watching.
That was really cool. It's a little bit different. Outside ponds.